Hello everybody, thank you for joining me again today. I'm Lee from thecraftyspark.co.uk and today's video is to show you how to make this really cute, holder. What's it called? Post-it note holder. Oh dear, that was a good start to the video, wasn't it? Ordinarily, I would have that post-it pad stuck in there, not sliding around. However, the reason it's sliding around is because I've only got the one and I really need it for what I'm going to show you how to make, which is this. So, before I start, I've just realised I haven't got my magnets out. So I'm just whipping over the other side of the room and digging in a drawer because I need a couple of little mini magnets, which I have. There we go. That was good, wasn't it? Right, we are going to be using one of my old favourites, the Flower Shop stamp set and the Pansy Punch. Now, I haven't used this stamp set for ages and I really like it. It's one of my go-to sets whenever I kind of feel a little bit, oh, I don't know what to do, what should I make, I don't know how to make the card. So I always end up with this one. I think it's because it's got the punch with it as well. And punches are so easy to use. I mean, I like dies, but oh, I wish we had more punches. We used to have loads of punches. Now we've got more dies than punches. Please turn around the other way, Stampin' Up, because they're nice. Right, stop prattling on. Okay, let's have a look then. You are going to need to make this a piece of coloured cardstock. Now I'm using Rich Razzleberry for this particular one. That one was Tempting Turquoise. So Rich Razzleberry, and this measures 3 1/8 of an inch. So 3 1/8 by 10 1/8. All right. I've then got some white cardstock to stamp on, another small piece of coloured cardstock because I'll need that in a minute. I've got a 2-inch circle. Now that I've punched out with a thick Whisper White, not our standard Whisper White, that's the thick one. And I've also got some layers, but I'll show you the layers more in a minute. First thing you need to do though is tidy up. That's always good. Let me put my magnets somewhere I won't lose them. Right, you are going to need your scoreboard. So, simply scored board, score tool, and with the longest edge across the top, you need to score at 3 1/8, 3 1/2, 6 5/8. and 7. All right, and then we're going to do one diagonal score. Now you've probably noticed on my Simply scoreboard I have got lines. I drew these lines myself every 3 inches using a white paint pen. Whoops, can't remember what it was called now. You know the pens that have got the paint, the permanent paint inside them. You used to get them in just gold and silver, and now you get all sorts of colours. Well, I got a thin white one of those, and I mark the lines every 3 inches. I do that on every scoreboard I have. I just find that sometimes I need to go across. Just makes it easy to work things out. But what I'm going to do, and this is one of the reasons why I like it, is because I want to do a diagonal line. And I can do a diagonal very easily on my scoreboard because I can mark it from the lines. I can line it up properly. If you don't have lines on your scoreboard, you might want to maybe do a pencil mark or something, or maybe even do this with a ruler. Might be a bit easier because you need to make sure you've got a straight line, and you want to go, whoops, from, see where that score line is there, you kind of want to go from the top of that score line, not actually on the score line, so just over the top of that score line, because otherwise it's not going to fold properly. So line it up, make sure it's nicely lined up, hold it firm, and then score that diagonal. All right. Right, move your scoreboard out of the way. Whoops, crash. Throw mine on the floor. And then we're going to fold and burnish these score lines that we've just made. Those two. Those two. And then this one, I'm going to fold it in. Now I need to make sure it's not interfering with this score line that I did here. If it was, or if yours does, just get your trimmer and just, or scissors, and just snip off a sliver on that edge so that it folds properly. Okay? Yeah, mine's good. I'm fine. I am done. That's good. Right. Now then, let me just make sure that's proper folded, because that one needs to be really, really solid. Right, for your, oops, I've got a bit of a tatty corner there somehow. Hang on, let me just trim that off. Don't like tatty corners. There we go, that's it. I thought it was just where I folded it, but it wasn't. I don't know what it was, but it's done now. It's done, it's finished, gone. Right, now your layers. You have got 3. Your Whisper White will measure, yeah, that's right. I was trying to think then. So that's 3 and 1/8, so that's got to be all right. Yeah, so it's 3 inches by 3 inches. So your white layer, 3 inches by 3 inches. And then your paper that's going on the top is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. All right. Now, I'm actually going to glue mine on. You could use glue, or you could use double-sided tape, whichever you prefer. I'm going with glue. And what I'm going to do, I nearly done it, is I'm going to start off with just one, and that's going on the back in the middle. All right, so that's the outside middle panel. Let's put that on there so I don't mess it up. All right, outside middle panel. Now then, when this folds up, it's going to fold like that, which is why we've just done that one. Okay, however, I want magnets on this as well. So what we're going to do is, before we do the next stage, actually, do you know what? We could stick this down, couldn't we? Yeah, let's do this first. Let's stick this down, because this triangle is going on the inside, so that can be stuck actually. Yeah, stick your triangle down. Oh dear. Give it a good smoosh with my bone folder. Make sure it's nicely stuck. There we go. That's it. The reason you've done that folded over is to give it strength and to give a nice finish on that edge. When I first did the prototype for this, I actually cut that, which was okay. But as I kept opening it and closing it, I noticed gradually the edge was getting all messed up. And this corner especially started to get really tatty. So folding it over, giving it that double thickness, much better. Finishes it off properly. Right, now, where are we? Circle. Get your circle and pop some adhesive or some glue on half of that circle. And then stick it, whoops, about halfway along that triangle. Okay. Yeah, I know I did that back to front. It just made it easy for me to see. Sorry. So make sure it's nicely stuck down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do the magnet before we do anything else. Okay, So with your magnet, now these magnets that I've got here, whoops, these are very small. As you can see, they're only 8mm in diameter. They're 1mm thick, and they're neodymium magnets, so they are very strong, whoops, and ideal for doing craft with. What I would suggest you do is probably buy quite a few of them, because once you start using them, you want to use them all the time. Now, I get mine from a company called Spider Magnets in the UK. Where you'd get them from abroad, I don't know. You just have to have a look, see what you can find. But I'll put the link for where I get them from on the blog post, which goes with this video. And you'll see the blog post in the notes under the video. All right. Now, take 2 magnets, put one either side of the circle, and push it so that you're almost in the middle. Not completely, but almost. All right. The reason you want it that far in and not over on the edge is because you need to be able to cover it up. So once you've got your magnet on there, get your coloured cardstock and your pansy punch. Punch out one of the flowers. Now, this flower is going to sit on there, but I want to cover that magnet. So I'm going to make sure that wherever it goes, my magnet is covered. Now, you don't have to glue it to the magnet. You don't have to glue the flower to the magnet. You don't have to glue the magnet to the flower. But what you do want to make sure is wherever that flower is, you're going to make sure you cover up that magnet. All right. Now then, grab some glue dots. And as it happens, the Stampin' Up! Glue dots fit perfectly on these magnets. Dun, dun, dun. Fancy that, huh? So with that on there, I'm now going to get my flower petal and stick it to that magnet. Can you see? Stuck on there. And then I can maneuver it exactly where I want it to go, like that. All right. Now, next thing I want to do is put a glue dot on the back of that one. Now, this is where you need to make sure you're nicely lined up. So, fold flat. Whoops. All right. Make sure you can fold it flat. With it folded flat, line it up nicely and then just push down on that magnet. Okay, and now when you lift off, lift it carefully because you don't want it to come unstuck. But can you see it's now stuck in exactly the right place, and my other one is stuck on the back of my flower. All right, so now I've got my magnet in the right spot, I can cover it up. Oops. So I'm going to just pop some glue on the back of another panel and stick that over the magnet. Now, because these magnets are so strong, it will easily go through that cardstock and that paper. And probably anything else you decide to put over it, I would imagine, because it's super strong, this stuff. Right, so that is nicely disguised now. You can't see that magnet at all. So when I put the flower back on, it's going to be right where I need it to go. Now, to make sure it stays where I need it to go, because I've already got the magnet on the back of the flower, I'm going to put another glue dot on the other side of the magnet. Okay, I'm lining it up again so that I know I'm exactly straight, because otherwise if I'm not, it won't shut properly. So hold it with your finger in the corners and then it will find, that magnet will find the other one. And once it's on there, just let it go. All right, That's a song, isn't it? Let it go, let it go. There we go. See? I won't sing. That's not a good idea, me singing, is it? Right, now, what I didn't do, actually, which was very silly of me, I should have put some dimensionals on the back of that before I stuck it on. I'm really sorry. If you're making this with me, stop right there. Grab your dimensionals. However, fortunately, we can still stick them on that, but it just means I'm going to have to bend the flower back a little bit to stick the dimensionals on. Whoops. Never mind, never mind. Everybody messes up, don't they? At least we know we're human when we mess up. Right, I'm actually, I know you can't see this because unfortunately I'm working downwards now, but I'm actually putting a dimensional on the back of each petal. Only because I'm making these for my team, because the new catalogue comes out very soon. And when the new catalogue comes out, I always like to make little gifts for my team. And this is going to be one of them. And I want to make sure that if anyone decides to put this in their handbag or shopping bag, that flower's not going to pull off. There we go. That's it. That's fine. All right. So what I've done, if you could see through that, there's the magnet is here. And then there's the dimensionals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is a lot of dimensionals for this flower. If you were just going to give this as a gift and it wasn't going to go into somebody's bag, you would need nowhere near that many dimensionals. However, I've got lots on there so that if anybody does decide to stick it in a bag, they can. Right, to put this last panel on, which is going on the inside. Now all these panels are making it really sturdy. So again, if it gets knocked about, it's not going to damage, which is precisely what I want. There's nothing worse, is there, when somebody makes you a really nice gift and you try and use it, but you can't because it's too flimsy. It's just not good. Not good at all. Now then, where did that pack of that post-it note? Oh, it's in there still, isn't it? Right, let's just open this, which I should have probably done just a minute ago. Before I started filming, I mean. Oh, there we go. Okay, now all I'm going to do is decide which way I want it to go. Now, when you decide which way you're going, it would really depend on whether you're making this for a left-handed person or a right-handed person. You could go either and have it so that it opens upwards. If you're left-handed, you want it so that it opens to the left. For right-handed, opens to the right. All right. If you really don't know, go for the right because that's the most common one. So I'm going to make it so that I've got my pad going that way. Or should I do that way? Yeah, I suppose most people would open it that way round, wouldn't they? Okay, let's pop some glue just on the back of this to hold it in place. Now, the pad itself is 3 inches square. Your cover that you've just made is 3 1/8 of an inch square, so it gives you just a little bit of room, because if it's too tight, you're going to find yourself struggling. There we go, put that down. All right, see how nicely that folds up? And you've got a nice lip going round, just as a little bit of extra. Now, on top of my little flower, I'm going to put some ribbon. There we go. Had to find the ribbon there. And this is just from the Celebration ribbon. This is the sparkly ribbon. Came in a 2-pack. So I'm going to pop some glue in the middle, and then that is going to sit on there with some more glue on there. And you're probably thinking, wow, that's a lot of glue. Yeah, I know, probably doesn't need so much glue, but never mind. I like using glue. Now, when you put it on, try and get it, see, this is why you need glue. Try and get it so that it goes out to that corner. Okay, like that. Just gives it a nice little finish. Let's just get that stuck nicely. I'm just sort of spreading the glue out a bit there with the end of my pokey tool. Made a mess now. Dearie me. Come on, that'll do. That'll do. That'll do. Now then, I want my rich raspberry ink. I want a flower. And I want my piece of Whisper White cardstock. Can you see? There's that black dot on there. That black dot lines up with the bottom of my punch. So when I stamp this, I know that I'm going to be able to just slide my punch in and it's going to line up perfectly. Neat, huh? Right. So let me just stamp that down, hold it there just for a few seconds, let that ink come off the stamp and absorb into your cardstock. Shut that before you stick your hand in it. That's more a note for me than you, really, I suppose, because I'm very good at sticking my hand in my ink pads. Just give that a very quick dry. I just want to make sure it's dry properly before I slide this over it. Can you see how well that now lines up? I haven't got to do any of this. I can just put it in, line it up, punch it out. I'll just try and get a nice even edge on that flower. There we go. One pretty flower. It looks like it's almost stuck. Now this is going to go on there as well. And again, I'm gluing the back of it because, again, I don't want it to peel off in someone's bag. And this time, I'm actually going to offset it against the other coloured petals so that you can see the rich raspberry peeping out from underneath it. Oops, let's get it on there properly. That'd be better, wouldn't it? There we go. All right, can you see that colour on the edges? So, last thing we need are some perfect accents, white perfect accents, which, there they are. I was going to say I had some just a minute ago and they're right under my nose. Now what size should we put on there? Don't know. Yeah, I'll go with the big one. Some of these might end up with small ones. I did think about putting diamonds in the middle, but I haven't really got any that are big enough. I suppose I could have used the metal rimmed pearls. Mind you, then it would stand up quite a bit. And I'm trying to keep it flat. But that's an alternative that you could go for, actually. If you haven't got white perfect accents, you could always use pearls. Or if you've got some nice big diamonds, you could use the big diamonds. I did try the bigger diamonds from our pack, but they're not quite big enough. But I think that one looks all right, don't you? That looks fine. So there you have it. There is your post-it note holder. Whoops. Try not to pull the petals like I just did there. You could open it using that if you've stuck down on the back, which as you can see I haven't. So I'm going to open like that and like that. And there is my pad upside down because it should be run that way. Oh, love it. Someone's going to have an upside down pad. Never mind, they could have a sideways pad. Yeah, we could go sideways. I'll say it's for a left-handed person. No, it's for a right-handed person. But you open it like that, and then you look at it that way. Or you, oh, I don't know. Oh, someone will like it. I know they will like it. But there you go. There is your post-it note holder in its little pad. I hope you enjoyed making that with me. Everything you need to make this cutie little thing you will find in the notes under this video. There'll be a full list of products. There will also be the link for the magnets as well, so that you know where to get those from. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. I will see you again in the week with, drum roll, some of the new Eastern Palace suite. Dun dun dun! The Eastern Palace suite, just for those of you that haven't seen it, is an early release suite that Stampin' Up is releasing early from the new catalogue that comes out on the 1st of June. So it's rather special because they don't usually do early releases like this. But I've had a bit of a look, and oh my gosh, is it lovely. Absolutely lovely. So I'll be showing you some pictures on my blog, and I'm sure there'll be some cards coming up very soon as well, and lots of other things. So if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. Just click the subscribe link at the end of this video, and I will see you again very, very soon. Take care. Bye for now.